Alrighty, everybody. This is Remix Plum, and stay tuned, everybody. On this stream tonight, we're going to talk about everything '90s music, and I'm being joined by Christianity. We'll have him on momentarily, so stay tuned for the introduction. And so, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. The BPTs mini podcast extravaganza. This is a special for the Thursday instead of the traditional Sunday. So, and yes, I don't have work to do tonight, so this is why I'm able to do it tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. BPT's mini podcast extravaganza on this special day for August 3rd, 2023. So, stay tuned, guys. And the BPT's mini podcast stream begins right after this. Stay tuned. Alrighty, everybody, and welcome everyone to the very special BPT's mini podcast extravaganza for August 3rd, 2023. And I am Remix Plum, your host. And of course, I'm the founder of Remix Plum Studios and the CEO of Real One Media Networks. And thank you guys, and welcome to the stream. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not alone. I am joined by Retro Media Vision himself, and of course, you can check out his music, or should I say, play his album on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that other great stuff. Christianity plays his hits, and so go give it a listen. And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Christianity.
Thank you so much for that plug, Remix. I appreciate it. How are you, everybody?
All right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. And of course, Luke Jeffers is not in the stream tonight, so hopefully he won't get too angry with me. Because once the stream ends, I'll make it public for everybody to watch the stream. But like I said, Luke will be back. For another stream, the three of us, because tonight is going to be everything that I want to talk about, and to make the show special and make it great for you all tonight. And so tonight's topic, or the theme rather, for BPT's mini podcast extravaganza is all about the 90s, specifically music of the 1990s. And that is a theme for tonight. So, but yeah, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. And before we do, just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching last week's podcast stream with Luke and Chris and myself. We had a great stream. I know that it's not getting a lot of views and whatnot, but I think it was an awesome show. Made Luke laugh. Talking about the whole Bacon China saga and the upcoming video game Animal Party Animals or whatever it's called. But yeah, it was a great stream. I enjoyed it. Chris enjoyed it, and I'm sure Luke enjoyed it as well. Because it was a big stream. It was about 3 hour stream. Now it ain't gonna be no 3 hour stream tonight. Because I got things I gotta do and whatnot after the stream. So this won't be a long one. And like I said in the E3, which ended at 3 hours, but it ain't gonna be no 3 hours tonight. So Um, so don't worry, guys. This ain't gonna be a long stream. So, but with that in mind, no, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and talk about '90s music. So, as you guys know, '90s is my generation. Excuse me, and being born late in the 1980s. Didn't really get much of 80s music because that's one of the things we're going to do on the next podcast stream, the 80s music. And I know Christianity's very excited to talk about 1980s music. Isn't that right?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but yeah, so me being born in the late '80s, '90s was a awesome generation when it comes to the music. Probably not so much in the lifestyle or any of the stuff that happened in the '90s. A lot of stuff that really happened, especially 1994 and all of them. But want to go over some of the stuff about 90s music, and the song that I really enjoy and I still listen to still to this day. And of course, we'll have Chris talking about some of the songs he remembers in the 1990s generation, as well as pretty much our childhood memories of the 90s. And that might include video game music too, because there's a lot of great video game tunes in the '90s as well. So we're talking NES stuff in the '90s, the Super Nintendo stuff of the '90s, even Sega Genesis in the '90s. Yeah. So I'm going to include video game music as well because I'm a chiptune lover. And I do listen to video game music because it's awesome, and I really enjoy listening to music because that's what makes a video game is having an awesome soundtrack. And if it doesn't have an awesome soundtrack, then the game's not really complete. If it doesn't have the incredible soundtrack, to video games and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And so that's pretty much that. But yeah, so we will go ahead and get things going. And like I said, thank you guys. Once again, want to say this. This is not in the '90s stuff. But yeah, the subscriber count, went up and whatnot. So thank you guys. And I tell you, I enjoy do what I do here on the YouTube channel, and especially uploading some games and gameplay and whatnot, captured on that spots and whatnot. So I really appreciate it. I got a new video uploaded, so you guys can check it out as well. Because they finally announced it, and it finally is on iTunes, and I'm gonna be getting that movie probably next month. But I will see that movie because I am a huge cartoon lover, and I love Disney Pixar as well. So, but yeah, so I'm looking at so so I'm doing well for myself, I guess. Wow. Okay, I'm at 4,900 right now of the of that one video. So I'm going to be hitting 5,000 views on that one video, and it's just it's just
cool.
Just skywalking in, and no signs of slowing down. Because like I said, I was captured directly to the thingamajig. So it is not showing up. I think I have it on list on private. I don't know. But like I said, this will be available public once we get done, and that way everybody can enjoy everything. And if you guys if you guys have a favorite '90s song and whatnot that you enjoy, I would like to know, and if comment down below and let me know what your favorite '90s music is. I'm sure Luke will do that in the comment section. So again, if you guys have any '90s music that you enjoy, let me know. Comment below, and I would like to hear about it because I grew up in the '90s and whatnot, and my hometown and everything, and I've been joining music ever since, as well as video game music too. Humming along some of the famous 8-bit stuff, and I'm not gonna do that on the stream, obviously, because of copyright. But humming along with 8-bit music stuff, NES stuff, yeah. So been listening to music nonstop. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started talking about the '90s music. So let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
As I am trying to find something here on the YouTube channel. See if I can. I want to share this video if I can. I don't know if it's gonna let me or not, but put Linux on it. I don't think so. No, because I wanted Windows 11. I don't want to put Linux on it, but it's a nice suggestion, but nah, I don't think so. So anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about 1990s music. So the song that I remember listening to, now it has some cussing in it, and I didn't even know it at the time because I was so little. Well, maybe around 4 or 5 is when I heard this song from 1990. And if you guys don't know this dude, well, he was born on Halloween, I believe, in 1967 or 69 or whatever. And he's the rapper and everything, and and sampling other people's music and whatnot, and made it his own. You probably know who I'm talking about, but anyway, he's from Dallas and everything, and of course I am talking about the guy born on Halloween, good old Vanilla Ice.
Woohoo! Yeah, Vanilla Ice. Oh, yeah.
And the song that I am talking about, the song that really got him to superstardom, is the song that was a #1 hit on the album To the Extreme. And that song I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, that I remember in the '90s, is a song called Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, Ice Ice Baby. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 1990 or 91.
Well, it was one of the two.
Yeah.
I wanna say it's from '90, but it could be '91. But yeah, that the song, everybody knows the song, and it was a #1 hit, and yeah, it's just a awesome song. Now I'm gonna be perfectly honest to you people. Well, I'm gonna be nice. To be perfectly honest, rap's not really my thing, but I do like the song, and
Rap's
yeah,
not my thing neither. So
it has that '90s vibe, and I really enjoy the song. And it was a huge hit back in the early '90s, into the '90s generation. And I'm gonna send the link and everything But like I said, this video will go public, as soon as the stream's over. And all right, so let's see. I gotta make sure that I don't be really careful. Um, and start sending this, blah blah blah. Okay, let me exit out of the messenger. Alright, and I am gonna go look on Wikipedia for the song. Because I believe it was a B-side to the other song. And if it wasn't for that one radio station, flipping the vinyl record over, then we would not have the song what it is today. Had it not, for switching up from the A side to the B side. The A side obviously is a song that didn't do well and fell on deaf ears, as it says on Behind the Music. Is a song called it's a sampling, if whatnot, because he usually is known for sampling of the music and whatnot, and he got in trouble with not with the A side, but primarily for the B side, and that is Ice Ice Baby, because it was a sampling whiff of the 1981 or 82 classic by David Bowie and Queen with the song Under Pressure.
Oh my.
And that is a good song too, as well. But yeah, and so and obviously they had to give credit to it, and it was either that or risk the number one song to go bye-bye, maybe, but yeah, so anyway, this song is a debut song, and this was released on August 22nd, 1990. And it's not really a rap, it's more like a hip-hop dance pop, and so I don't mind it, and yeah, it's a great song.
Oh yeah.
And used on the bass line of the song Under Pressure, like I said. And of course, the song is also on the new metal version. I don't know if Luke likes Vanilla Ice, because he's not really a hip hop fan, but yeah, so. So the song was on the Hard to Swallow album under the title Too Cold. And that has the Ice Ice Baby lyric in the Hard to Swallow, which I've heard. It's unlike, it's not like the 1990 version that Vanilla Ice did. But yeah, this was more like new metal than just the hip hop dance pop.
Oh yes.
So it was the B side to Vanilla Ice's cover of "Play That Funky Music," and that song did not do well. It was not successful, but Ice Ice Baby was successful. And that's on the To the Extreme album. Yeah, so Ice Ice Baby. Let's see. Yeah. So when a disc jockey played Ice Ice Baby instead of the A side, the song gained more success than the Play That Funky Music. And there was a music video that was produced for $8,000 back then in the 90s. And it was shot at the roof at a warehouse in Dallas, Texas. Because like I said, being born in Texas, not in Dallas, because it is a big city. But yeah, so maybe that's the reason why I like this song, because I was born in my home state. Maybe, I don't know, but that probably could be. It probably could be that. Um, being born in Texas, but who knows? Um, so let's see. This song did well. It garnered critical acclaim, and it was the first hip hop song to top the Billboard charts. And I think it was number one, if I'm not mistaken. And this is funny. 1991, Alvin and the Chipmunks released a cover version entitled "Ice Ice Alvin" for the for their album "The Chipmunks Walk the House." That's funny. Ice Ice Alvin. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well. Oh. Okay. So, the Chipmunks Walk the House is a music album released in 1991. Creator of Love is on there. Freedom 90. The song WOAM, ROAM by the B-52s. I love that song. Although that came out in 1989, so we're not going to count that song, but it is an awesome song. And this one is from 1987, so that's not going to count. Oh yeah, that one. That actually came out in 1990, covered by Cher, called the "Shoop Shoop" song. It's in his Kiss, and that was on the Mermaids movie, which she was also in, and she did a cover of it that was based on the '60s music, the '60s version. And Chris, you're gonna love this. I think this is from 1990. Yeah. So you're gonna love this. "You Can't Touch This" by MC Hammer.
Yep. Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. Yeah.
And the song that I just watched on MTV Classic just a while ago, they played this awesome song from the '90s. And but yeah. So and by the way, yeah, Ice Ice Baby. I still like the song, and I really enjoy it. And it's a great song, and I still listen to it, and it's still a great song, even if I'm not really a hip hop or a rap fan. But I really do like the song because I grew up with it, and yeah, and it's been that way ever since. Now, there's one song on here that I just watched on MTV Classic. This is one of my favorite songs from them, and this is the only number one hit in the '90s. And this one is from 1991 or '92. This is a song by EMF. The song is called "Unbelievable," and that is an awesome song. Yeah, "Unbelievable" is a EMF song that was released in 1990. And it was on the 1991 album Sherbet Dip.
Yes.
And this was the only number one hit. Peaked at number yeah. So number 3 on the UK, and it hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. So this was the only song that was number 1. But yeah. So I just saw the music video to "Unbelievable" by EMF. And yeah, that's probably the well-known song. And just like many others, they became a one-hit wonder. Look at Taco. Putting on the Ritz.
Yes.
And we'll be talking about that in the '80s music, '80s music, if you will. We'll be talking about that too. And this so "Unbelievable." It's an awesome song. It's a dance walk, alternative walk. Came out in 1990, although it's from 1991. The sound the album, and it has samples of U.S. comedian Andrew Dice Clay and a Black Panther Party member shouting the yeah. I thought it was what was that, but
Yeah.
actually it's totally different. I'm not gonna say it on the stream, but because of profanity. But yeah, so the song was very successful, and yeah, it was number one.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy Unbelievable, and I really do like Sherbet Dip. Even if that was the only number one song, I still like the songs that are in this. And this was recorded in 1990. Uh, yeah, it's a good album, and I do like some songs in the album. It's good. Yeah, so EMF, Unbelievable, from 1990 or 1991, give or take. Songs in the 1990s. So, is there anything you want to add about EMF?
Give me 1 second. Yeah, EMS.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I'm just trying to look up more about them.
Yeah.
Mm,
And of course, 90s, had it all. Grunge music, alternative metal.
oh,
There you
EMS.
go.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
EMF.
Oh, you
Alternative
said
rock, like I
EMS.
said.
EMF. I'm sorry, I misheard it.
Yeah, EMF.
Yeah, I do
And of
remember
course,
that.
Alanis Morissette. She was really big in the 90s too.
Yeah, and I remember who else? Salt and Pepper.
Oh yes,
On.
especially that the song "Shoop."
Yep, and then you had
I like
Amber.
that song "Shoop."
You had Amber in the 90s.
And what's the other one?
Rush
There was
Hour.
another song that they did duet with En Vogue, who did that one song. I remember that one.
Never Gonna Get
Yeah,
It.
yeah, that's a good one. Yep, that's it.
Too.
Um, yep, that's a good one. 1990s. Yep. So, yeah, Third Wave Sky. Um, so yeah, so there you go on that. And another song that I want to mention too
Yeah.
is is a song that Glenn Medeiros did. And of course, if you don't know who he is, he used to be a singer, and now he is um, working in education at a school in Hawaii, and I mean, it's sad that he really didn't want to take the time of doing the music and stuff, but his real goal in life was to educate, education and whatnot. But yeah, so Glenn Medeiros, he did a song in the 80s, especially 1987, called Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You, which is an awesome song. And in 1990, he had a duet with Bobby Brown. Um, and together they made his only number one hit. And he's another one hit wonder too, because he only had that number one song in the America.
Yeah.
Um, and the song that he did, and I really enjoy it. And I tell you, his voice is kind of like Donny Osmond, because Donny Osmond has that same vocal ish kind of thing, and it kind of he kind of sounds just like almost like Donny Osmond, and that's a good thing because I like Donny Osmond too,
Yeah.
and and but anyway, the song I'm talking about from Glenn Medeiros is a song called "She Ain't Worth It." and that is from 1990, and that was his number one hit. And it is a good song, and I really enjoy it. And and those are the only two songs I know of Glenn Medeiros, which is "Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You" from the '80s, and of course the one I just mentioned in 1990, "She Ain't Worth It," featuring Bobby Brown, and really good stuff. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I can't forget about Sir Elton John, because he is a legend. He's an icon.
Yes, God.
Because he's the guy that he had some rough waters and whatnot, after 1976 and everything, and he became sober in 1992 and everything. But yeah, so the song that I enjoy in the '90s, I mean, there's a bunch of them. Probably the one song from "Sleeping with the Past" album is a song called "Sacrifice," which was a number one hit in the UK, and that is such a great song too. And that's from "Sleeping with the Past." And of course, the album that he did in 1992, which is one of my favorites, um, is an album called "The One," and that really got him into you know doing so well. And this is the first album, being sober, and the album did really good. And it was his highest charted album in 1992. Peaked at number 8. And so that means you can add another top 10, on top of many other top tens that Elton has. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and of course, the one is my favorite album of his. I know some people will probably disagree with me, but I really enjoy it. But yeah, so it came out June 22nd, 1992, and let's see, and yeah, so it was certified two-time platinum, and let's see. The One was his first album project since his rehab from drug and alcohol addictions in 1990. And yeah, so this is a great album. I really enjoy it. I used to have this on the CD, but I don't anymore. And then I bought it on Google Play Music, and now Google Play Music's gone. So, but luckily, and like I said, I did purchase the album, so it's not like. But yeah, I really enjoy it, and so yeah, so the songs that you may know of the album, songs like "The One," which is an awesome. Piano-driven ballad and whatnot, and that was number one in the AC. Of course, "108 Train," that you may remember from Lethal Weapon 3, the movie. And Luke used to like that song, but yeah, we won't get into to that. But yeah, so "108 Train," music video, obviously, and of course Eric Clapton um, did the song too. Duet with
Yeah.
Eric Clapton. You may remember him. "Tears in Heaven," or whatever the name of that song is. I think it's that name. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
Um, of course, the last song, which is a pretty sad one, but it's the 11th and final track. I had the one with yeah, get it. I
Yeah.
had the other album that had the bonus tracks. So that was a 1998 reissue that had those two extra songs that weren't in the original. So the original had 11 songs, and the 1998 reissue had two more, going up to 13. And that's the one that I had. But yeah. yeah, Simple Life. That came out in 1993. It's a good song. Sweat It Out is a good song in the album. Uh, Simple Life is number 30 on the Hot 100 and number one on the Adult Contemporary. Number one. And of course, the one, which I really enjoy. I used to, and I must say this too. I did not like this song at first, and I really didn't care for the song. But after I got over it, this became an awesome song. Played it over and over again, and I can't get enough. And the one thing I like about the song is the solo, the piano solo at the 3:30 mark. It is beautiful. It's amazing, and it's probably the best piano solo on that song. It's awesome, and I really enjoy that song. I used to hate it, but I don't because it's a great song. What I don't like, however, is the single version because it's only four and a half minutes. The album version is a solid 5:53, almost 6 minutes. So this song is almost 6 minutes, but it's still a great song. And especially the end of the song where you get to hear that guitar riff from Davy Johnstone, and oh my God, at the 5:38 mark, and he has that guitar riff at the end, really really cool. And this song peaked number 9, and of course this was the second number one adult contemporary, or should I say Billboard AC chart back then in '92. So yeah, I really enjoy this album. I'm a huge Elton fan, as you guys know.
Yeah.
And on the '80s music, we're going to be talking about Elton's music in 1980s because he had
Yeah.
a lot of albums in the '80s, especially the Fox, 21 at 33.
I'm
Um,
still standing.
yeah, and that's from Too Low for Zero, which turns 40 this year, and it's one of my favorite
Woohoo! Yeah.
albums ever. I love every song on the album, including the title track. I'm
Oh
still
yeah.
standing. I
Oh
guess
yeah.
that's what I call it, the blues.
Yeah.
I love every song on the album. And that's why it's my favorite album as well from 1983. And of course,
Yeah.
Jump Up
The
1982, which has Empty Garden, which is
uh,
an awesome song. Um, yeah, so we'll be talking about that in the '80s music, '80s stream, I should say, '80s music. Well, you guys get the drill. I'm all tongue twisting because
I
I don't know what I'm
know.
saying because I'm talking too fast. It's like in baseball, like you go 100 miles an hour and
Yeah.
you throw a 100-mile-an-hour pitch, and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm talking so fast, and then this guy's throwing a fastball. um,
Yeah.
yeah, I know it's crazy. Um, and continue with Elton John. He did one of my favorite songs from the '90s, and he did it for the movie The Lion King
Yeah.
from 1994. And one
Yeah.
of my favorite songs on the album, on the soundtrack rather, is an awesome song called "Can You Feel the Love Tonight." And it is such a great song for a Disney movie because I do like The Lion King. Um, and of course, Circle of Life. Um, and I like the Elton John version of this song, not in the movie version, but I like the Elton John version. The song "I Just Can't Wait to Be King." I like his version because he does it so well, and I do like the song. I really do. I just don't care for it in the movie, but when Elton sings it, it's magic and it's awesome and it's really good. And I really oh crap, and I really enjoy that song.
Yeah.
And of course, "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" I mean, come on. I mean, if you don't really enjoy that song, then yeah, there's something wrong with you. But But
Yeah.
yeah, it's such a great song, and I love it. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? One of the best songs. Oh, and I also forgot the other singer, because one of her songs were on MTV Classic that I saw last week, and she shares the same birthday as Sir Elton John. Um, I want to talk about Kathy Dennis. That's another one I forgot to
Kathy Dennis,
mention.
Too Many Walls.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, Too Many Walls, and I would not believe that this would be on MTV Classic. And I saw the music video, and I saw her name, Kathy Dennis, and I saw the song, Too Many Walls. Like, yep, this is my favorite song right here. And Chris nailed it. Too Many Walls,
Woohoo! Yeah.
and such an awesome song. I really enjoy it. And of course, the other song from the Move to This album is a song that was a #1 hit called "Touch Me All Night Long."
Yeah.
And I really did her music back then. Um, and yeah, when I heard "Too Many Walls" for the first time, I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. And not only that, she won awards. #1 new pop female artist at the Billboard Music Awards. She won that. #1 new pop female artist, so she won both of those. She even got a Grammy for 2004 and 2005 because she's also a songwriter too. So she wrote a song, I think, for Britney Spears, "Toxic." I think. I think, yeah, Kathy Dennis is the songwriter. So she did. So not only she's a singer, but she's also a songwriter, and she wrote the song for Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll talk about her too. But yeah, Move to This, 1990, and I wanna get the album at some point because there's because of the Too Many Walls, as Chris mentioned. Now, Just Another Dream. That was the one I saw on MTV Classic. Although I don't know if I'm going to add that because this was released in 1989, so it was almost in 1990. But yeah, that's a good song too. But yeah, so her #1 song is it wasn't her song because it was a cover version. But her cover hit #1. And the cover version, or should I say the original one, is from 1984. And it was in the 1985 slasher film, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And I did not know that. I did not know that. But yeah, Touch Me All Night Long. It's a good one from her. And of course, Too Many Walls. Awesome song. And that's one of my favorite songs from the album. And of course, Touch Me All Night Long. So that's Kathy Dennis. And I forgot to mention her. And if I didn't mention her, yeah, this would not be this. Then it would haunt me for the rest of my life if I didn't mention her. She and like I said, she was born the same birth month as Sir Elton John. Although she was born in '69 and Elton was 47. And and she's still doing it, still to this day. She's still active, 1989 to today.
Yeah.
So she's a songwriter. Like I said, she did "Toxic" for Britney Spears. "I Kissed a Girl," Katy Perry. So she's a songwriter. Just like Linda Perry of that one. What is it? Yeah, see Linda Perry, and I'm thinking about that one song. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank, and it's not coming back to me.
Yeah.
I forgot because I know Linda Perry because she's a songwriter too. Oh, Four Non Blondes, that's it.
Four non
Yeah,
blondes.
Four
Yes.
Non Blondes. How can I not forget that? Four Non Blondes. What's up? I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what's up? I think
Going
that's the
on.
that's
What's
yeah.
going on? Yep.
Oh yeah, what's going on? Yep. That's the
It's
name
a
of it.
good song. My goodness. Yeah.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah. Okay. I knew it was something. I just no, I don't want that. Oh my God. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, that's the name of that. Okay. I was thinking of something else. Yeah, Four Non Blondes.
Yes.
Bitter. Oh my God. Bigger, better, faster, more. That's the only album they did. Okay. It's called What's Up. Okay, that's it. What's Up, Spaceman, and
Yeah.
yeah, and this was the only song that she did for Interscope.
Yeah.
Yep, What's Up and Spaceman. Um, that was the only album they did. And of course, Linda Perry is a songwriter too. Um, let's see,
Mhm.
but yeah, she is a songwriter, and she had so she wrote songs for Pink, Christina Aguilera, Kelly Osbourne, Gwen Stefani, which I like because she's she used to be in a band called No Doubt. And speaking of No Doubt, I'm going to talk about that too. Yeah, so Gwen Stefani, Christina Aguilera,
No doubt. Yep. Don't
yep,
speak. What else? I'm just a girl.
let's see, yeah. Get the Party Started 2001 by Pink, which
Yeah.
I like. Beautiful by Christina Aguilera, that was number two.
Aha. What a girl wants what a girl
Gwen
needs.
Stefani,
Yes, indeed.
Christina Aguilera, Daniel Powder. He's another one-hit wonder and didn't go that far.
Do you
Uh,
remember what was it? My Baby You and Come On Over, Baby.
hmm. So that's Linda Perry and Four Non Blondes,
Yeah.
and of course we can't forget about TLC. With their big huge 1994 album known as Crazy Sexy Cool, which has the song that I like called Waterfalls.
Yeah. Brandy.
And, that's from 1995.
There was also Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy,
Who else?
uh, Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
Sheryl Crow.
Uh, yeah, Sheryl Crow. Um, that one that did. Oh yeah. She did As I Laid Me Down. Uh, Sophia B. Hawkins, especially with As I Laid Me Down and the Ballad of Sleeping Beauty, aka there's an alternative title to it. Only Love, that's it. By Sophia B. Hawkins. So TLC, Crazy Sexy Cool. Um, that was a huge album back in 1994. Um, and they
Very
also did
Joe Chapin.
a TLC story that was on VH1, and that did really well. Yep, and let's see. Yeah, Crazy Sexy Cool. Yep, November 15, 1994. Oh, and I'll talk about Ace of Base because I didn't forget about them either.
Yeah.
Especially the song that I enjoy, "The Sign," which was used heavily in Pitch Perfect, and I'm not really a fan of the movie. I don't like that movie. I don't know. I just don't like that movie. It's just but uh let's see. Yeah, Creep. Yeah, and there's waterfalls. Um, yeah, Creep. Waterfalls. Especially listen to Lisa Lopes doing her rapping at on that song.
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yes.
And like I said, TLC would never be the same without Lisa Left Eye Lopes. Especially what happened, when she got into a really bad car accident. Yeah, I mean, I never knew that was going to happen. Yeah, so Sophia B. Halton, As I Lay Me Down from 1995, such a great song. The Ballad of Sleeping Beauty. Of course, Annie Lennox had a song from '95 called "No More I Love You." Yeah, and of course Mary J. Blige. I mean, yeah. What else? Boy, so you see, guys, a lot of '90s nostalgia for me. Especially getting into 1995 and everything.
Yeah.
And I think I am missing one. It came in my head and now it's all gone. So but it will come back to me.
Yes.
I mean, it always do. Oh yeah, hold on. 1990, Wilson Phillips.
Yep.
Oh, and of course we gotta talk about this song from the late Sinead O'Connor. Nothing Compares to You.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Vogue by Madonna.
Vogue
And
by Madonna. Yeah.
I do like Madonna.
Me too.
And I'm sure that the song that you're familiar with and everybody else is familiar with, a song called "Another Day in Paradise" by Phil Collins.
Yeah.
From one of I think his best album in 1989, But Seriously, and that's a really good album. Yeah, Another Day in Paradise.
Yeah.
Like I said, Hold On by Wilson Phillips. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking the Stone Temple Pilots. I forgot about them. Let's see, En Vogue, uh, Technotronic, yes. Pump Up the Jam, the title track album, and of course, Move This by Yacht KK, Technotronic. Oh my god, that song is awesome. I love that song. It makes me want to get up and dance. And that's why I like that song.
Yes.
Move This. That's That's my favorite. And yes, I am a fan of techno music, and I like techno house pop kind of thing. Yes, I'm a fan of it. Because instead of blasting your eardrums with metal, you get off the bed or the floor and and move this. Such an awesome song.
Oh yeah.
Love that song. Oh yeah. Really? This came out in 1990. Yeah, the Power by Snap, 1990. Yep, the Power by Snap. Yep. Uh, Step by Step. What's that? Uh, this was released in 1989. I'm not gonna count that, but we will talk about it in the 80s music theme, and that is "We Didn't Start the
Yeah.
Fire" by Billy Joel.
Indeed. We
I
didn't
love
start the
that
fire.
song.
Also, Billy Joel did "Done in the Middle of the Night" in 1993.
Yep. AKA River Dreams in the Middle of the Night.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep. Let's see, Milli Vanilli. I don't know about them because
Milli Vanilli.
because they hardly didn't even say one no. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Taylor Dane.
Definitely Taylor Dane. Yeah.
Do you remember by Phil Collins? That's from 1990. Yep, that's a good one. From the But Seriously album.
Yeah.
I Wish It Would Rain Down. That's from that album too. Is that from 1990? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. Also from that album. Pebbles. Okay. Let's see. Mariah Carey. Love Shack. That's from '89. That's not gonna count.
Yeah.
I do like the song, but that's not from the '90s. Come On, Get My Love, Kathy Dennis. Yeah, I mentioned her. And yeah, Too Many Walls is my favorite song from her. I really enjoy that. Gonna Make You Sweat. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody Dance Now.
Yep.
Yeah. CNC Music Factory. Can't forget about them either.
Yeah.
Cannot forget about that. And yeah, River Dreams by Billy Joel. The album called The River Dreams. And yep. And then after when that album came out, he did not do any more studio albums. Ever since that album came out in 1993, because I think it was finished with making music and that kind of stuff. Oh, and Unbelievable, like I mentioned, EMF, Gonna Make You Sweat, C plus C, Music Factory.
Yeah.
More Than Words, Extreme. And I don't really care for this song, Stevie B, Because I Love You. I think I remember that song. It was on Music Choice. I didn't really care for that. Yeah, Touch Me All Night Long, Kathy Dennis. Yeah, such an awesome song. Wind of Change, that's a good song by Scorpions. Really good song.
Absolutely.
Mariah Carey, UB40.
Yeah.
Yep, and there it is, Too Many Walls. by Kathy Dennis. That's a great song.
Yeah.
Just Another Dream. That's from 1989. I don't know. I mean, Stain. Uh, of course. Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
Yep. And CBB. Well, let's just say that. Yeah. I don't know. Because I Love You, the Postman song.
Yeah.
Um. Oh, and they forgot to mention Glenn Medeiros. She Ain't Worth It from 1990. You forgot. They forgot about that. Uh, of course. They're talking about Ace of Base, especially with the Happy Nation album, and the song that I mentioned earlier in the stream, "The Sign." I love that song, and I like the country version of this next one because he did two of those covers. But this one's
Yeah.
originally by All for One, and it's called "I Swear."
Yeah.
I like the country album, the country version of it by John Michael Montgomery. He did the cover of "I Swear," um, and "I Can Love You Like That." Those two songs. Um,
Yeah.
uh, Boys to Men, I Make Love to You. Uh, yeah. Power of Love, Celine Dion. Uh, Now the song that I remember, "Stay," I Missed You, Lisa Loeb. And these are songs in 1994. Um, and of course, the two more songs from Ace of Base, "All That She Wants" and "Don't Turn Around" was another good ones.
Yeah.
Salt and Pepper featuring In Vogue, "What a Man." That's it. I couldn't think of that song. "What a Man." Uh, and the song I just mentioned, "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" Elton John.
Yeah.
I love that song. Um, Richard Marx, Now and Forever, Babyface, Shoop, Salt and Pepper, like I said.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Sheryl Crow, All I Want to Do. Uh, oh yeah, Melissa Etheridge. Yeah, there's one song I like from her. Um, I forgot the
Yeah.
name of it. Oh yeah, I'm the only one. Yeah, that one. I like that song.
Oh,
I'm the only one. That's a good song by Melissa Etheridge.
yes.
It's a good song. Um,
Yeah.
Will McCoy, "Another Night." I love. Yeah, Will McCoy. Yeah, the great, especially "Another Night." Um, that's a good one. And like I said, I like dance music and a bit of techno, Euro dance and all that other stuff.
Yes.
Yep, and "Another Night." That's an awesome song. Uh, yeah, "Every Day," Phil Collins, from the Both Sides album. Uh, Tim McGraw, "Indian Outlaw." Remember that one? Uh, and
Yeah.
of course, I forgot to mention this too. Hathaway, "What Is Love."
Yes.
That's another great one. "What Is Love."
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Yep, really good song. And now the songs in 1995. But yeah, again, Vanilla Ice Ice Baby, awesome song. And this one from the late Coolio. The
Yeah.
song that still creeps me still to this day, especially the ending. The ending still creeps me out,
Yeah.
even though I'm an adult, it still creeps me out. But I think it's a good song too. It's called "Gangsta's Paradise" from 1995.
Oh my.
Uh
You know
huh.
what ending creeps me out? Some song
What?
called Suicidal.
Hmm.
Or Beautiful Girl, actually it's the name of it, but it talks about people doing suicidal. It's such a creepy song.
No, I know. Just like me in the ending of "Gangsta's Paradise" by Coolio, the late Coolio.
Definitely.
Waterfalls, Creep, like I mentioned. Oh, and here's another song, and this is a good one too, from the '90s, called "Kiss for My Woes" by Seal.
Yes.
That was in the Batman Forever movie, and that's a good song too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really, really good song. Of course, Michael Jackson, "You're Not Alone." And yeah, I did forget to mention Guns N' Roses, especially "Use Your Illusion" 1 and 2, especially that one song. Um,
Yeah.
um, Sheryl Crow. Oh, and I forgot Vanessa Williams. "Save the Best for Last."
Yes.
I mean, that's a good one too. Love it.
Indeed.
"Colors of the Wind," Vanessa Williams, from the Pocahontas movie.
Yep.
"One Away" by Will McCoy. That's another awesome song. "As I Lay Me Down" by Sophia B. Hawkins, like I mentioned. That's a good song too. Um, "I'm the Only One." I just mentioned that one.
Yeah.
Uh, and one of my favorite songs from Elton John from "Made in England" album. This is one of my favorite songs, called "Believe," and I'm not talking about the one by Cher, because that's another good one too from 1998. But this one, "Believe" by Elton John, 1995. This is my favorite song from Made in England, and that's also a song that I like to sing too. Um, I love that song. Um, Such a great song from Made in England. All I Want to Do, Sheryl Crow. Um,
Yes.
yeah, Vanessa Williams, yeah, and I mentioned Annie Lennox. No More I Love Yous. Like I mentioned. You Two, Hold Me, Feel Me, Kiss Me. Yeah, Kill Me. Um, Stevie B. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had a bit of a brain fart for a moment.
Yes.
But yeah, 1995. Also, video game music. Oh my God, yeah, some awesome music in 1995 that we get to talk about. And like I said, this won't be a lengthy stream, so we'll pace it along. Uh,
Yeah.
as we progress. Get by, because like I said, '90s is a generation that I grew up with. Listening to music and everything, and music's my thing, and I enjoy talking about '90s music here. Rather than talking about
Oh yeah.
crap and everything. This is what I enjoy talking about on the stream, and that's '90s music. Um, Now, yeah, okay. Well, here's a song right off the bat. Number one song. Uh, you may remember this song by Los Del Rio, and that's the Macarena.
Yep.
Yes, that was a huge hit. Uh, Mariah Carey. Tony Braxton, Quad City DJs, come on in, light it, the train. That's a good song. Quad City DJs, yeah. Alanis Morissette, like I mentioned her. Want It. Whitney Houston, yeah. Gin Blossoms, Follow You Down. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about Gin Blossoms. With that one song. Let's see. Goo Goo Dolls, Name. I do like Goo Goo Dolls. And Paula Cole. I Don't Want to Wait. And I think that's from like Party of Five or something like that. But that's another song from Paula Cole that I like. I Don't Want to Wait from that one album. And I forgot about her too. And they don't even mention it on here. Alanis Morissette, You Learn, You Ought to Know. I remember those two as well. And yeah, both great songs. Coolio featuring Gangsta's Paradise, yep.
Yeah.
And you know that song was the inspiration of the song by Stevie Wonder called Pastime Paradise from the 70s.
Yeah.
And Stevie Wonder did not want any profanity on Gangsta's Paradise. He did not allow that. And when he heard the song that didn't have profanity, he loved it, and he's like, okay, good. That I'm gonna allow, and I want you to have that on the put that on the album. Just no profanity, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he don't like that kind of thing. Because it kind of hurts him. The whole profanity thing. So more power to him, and good for him. For stepping up.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Busta Rhymes. Yep. Outkast. Chris Cross. Oh yeah, Robert Miles, the late Robert Miles. Children. He was another one that I listened to on that one album, and the reason why I say late Robert Miles because he passed away in 2017, and I did not know this. But yeah, of course, the album Dreamland from 1996, which has the song Children. And it is progressive house, ambient techno. Yep, sign me up. I like techno and I like house. Yep, sign me up. And I know you can agree with me on that because I love electronic music, dance music, house, all that other stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, Children, which is a good one. Like I said. Speaking of No Doubt, I know that we remember this song from the Tragic Kingdom album in 1995. The song called Just a Girl by No Doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, good song, great album. What's not to like about that? If It Makes You Happy, Sheryl Crow.
Yes.
As I Lay Me Down, like I said, Unbreak My Heart from Tony Braxton. Yep, I remember that one. R. Kelly. I know he did a song for Space Jam. Metallica, Ace of Base, Beautiful Life. I thought I saw Elton John, but I guess not. Pearl Jam, Ace of Base. Hootie and the Blowfish, Macarena. Okay. I thought I saw Elton John on there, but I guess not. Alright, well, I guess that's a lie. But yeah, let's see. 1997, and this is when that I moved from my home town and my home state, and we moved here in New York, and it's been that way since 1997.
Yeah.
Yep, since 1997.
Mm, oh, yeah.
And speaking of that one, John, Candle in the Wind, 1997. And that was his best-selling song from that Candle in the Wind 1997 for Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge back in 1997 for Elton. Jewel, You Were Meant for Me, Foolish Games, Tony Braxton, yeah, like I said. I Believe I Can Fly, R. Kelly. How Do I Live by Leanne Rimes. And the song that I really don't like is Wannabe by Spice Girls. Do not
Right.
like that song. Quit Playing Game with My Heart, Backstreet Boys. Bop Hanson. Yes, I remember that one.
Gotcha.
Third Eye Blind, Semi Charm Life. Awesome song. Duncan Sheik, Barely Breathing. That's an
Yeah.
awesome song. Haven't heard that in a very long time. That's an awesome song. I Want You, Savage Garden. Uh, and why not Truly, Madly, Deeply? Why not that one? Um, yeah, Spice Girls. Whitney Houston, Spice Girls, Sister Hazel, All for You. Yep, good song. Where Have All the Cowboys Gone? Paula Cole. Yep.
All the
And
Cowboys go. Yep.
and they didn't mention I Don't Want to Wait. They did not mention that at all.
Oh yes.
Um. Sheryl Crow, If It Makes You Happy. Um.
Yeah.
Chumbawamba, Tub Thumpin'.
Yeah.
I like that song.
Yeah.
Um. What else? Madonna, yeah, and yeah, Madonna. She had that one great album in 1998, and I really like the album, and I like the songs in that album. I tell you. Oh, and they didn't mention Matchbox 20 either. I'm like, come on, what about Matchbox 20? Especially with their debut album, Yourself or Someone Like You.
Oh
I mean, come
yes.
on now.
Yep.
Oh my God, they didn't even mention. You Still the One, Shania Twain, awesome song, love that song. Uh, Truly, Madly, Deeply, like I said, that I
Yeah.
mentioned. Okay, and now they just mentioned Paula Cole. I Don't Want to Wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
great song.
I definitely.
My Heart
Whoa.
Will Go On from Titanic.
Celine Dion. Yeah.
Uh huh. Destiny's Child,
Correct.
No, No, No. Um,
Oh,
Third Eye Blind,
Destiny's
How It's Gonna Be.
Child. I'm sorry.
I was mentioning Third Eye Blind, how it's going to be.
Oh, cool.
What were you gonna say?
Destiny's Child, Say My Name, and Jumpin'.
Um, Everybody, Backstreet's Back, Backstreet Boys. Don't Want to Miss a Thing, Aerosmith from Armageddon, I think. Um,
I'm like, say my
This,
name, say my name. What's this around you?
This Kiss,
You
Faith
know.
Hill. Yeah, they play that on the MTV Classic.
Yeah.
Mostly Playground. Yeah, that one song.
Yeah.
And here's the song by Madonna that I really like. From the Way of Light album, one of her best albums, I think for sure. Frozen by Madonna, such a great song.
Yeah.
That is an awesome 6 minute song. And like I said, if you're not a Madonna fan or not, I mean, yeah, this song is awesome, and I do like Madonna.
Yes.
I really do. Instinct, I Want You Back. What about Tearing Up My Heart? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Um, Bare Naked Ladies, 1 week. Third Eye Blind, Temperature on Life, like I said. Lisa Loeb, I Do. Jimmy Way, Are You Jimmy Way? Uh-huh. That's the only song I know from him is Are You Jimmy Way?
Yeah.
And he only did one album. I don't know what the heck happened to him. I'll Be Edward McCain. And of course, the song I just mentioned, Madonna, Way of Light. Such an awesome song. I like Way of Light. Both the album and the song. Really good.
Yeah.
And I like Frozen. Such a good song.
Yes.
98 Degrees. Oh, they did the song for Mulan that had Stevie Wonder in it. No Flavor, Missy Elliott, Aretha Franklin. Okay. And now we head into the end of the 90s, and that's 1999. This was sad for me because not only I was 10 years old in 99, but 99 ended a generation and why I love the 90s. And it still makes me sad still to this day. But yeah. Okay, so the song I just talked about, Believe by Cher from 1998. Good song. Sixpence None the Witcher, Kiss Me. Awesome song. Every Morning, Sugar Ray. And I remember this song by Ricky Martin, Living La Vida Loca.
Yeah.
I remember that song. Goo Goo Dolls Slide. Remember that one? Good song. Santana. Yeah, they didn't mention Matchbox 20. Idiots. Smooth, Santana featuring Rob Thomas of the band Matchbox 20. And yeah, Matchbox 20, especially with Push, 3 a.m., Long Day, Weirwood. I mean, come on. Save Tonight, Eat Right Cherry. Yep, remember that one. Pearl Jam, Last Kiss, which was a cover version of the song by 1963 that my mom liked, Last Kiss. This is by Pearl Jam, obviously. And that one song by Busta Rhymes, Give Me Some More. Okay. They don't impress me much. Shania Twain. Fly Away, Lenny Kravitz. I Still Believe. Jumper, Third Eye Blind. And this awesome song, my mother don't like this song, but I do. Lou Bega, Mambo Number 5.
Yep.
Yes, I love that song. Lullaby, Sean Mullins. I don't remember Lullaby. Maybe I do. I don't know. Um, unless if I'm thinking of something else. Um, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that song, "Lullaby" by Sean Mullen. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, was it "Walkaby"? I think it was "Lullaby." Oh, I forgot. I think it's "Lullaby." Yeah, it's "Lullaby." Okay, that's right. That's a good song too. I like "Lullaby" by Sean Mullins. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now they mentioned Matchbox 20. Back to Good from the Yourself or Someone Like You. And I
Yeah.
forgot getting jiggy with it. Will Smith.
Yeah.
From this moment on, Shania Twain. Uh, Black Balloon, Goo Dolls, good song. Uh, I remember you, Sir McLaughlin. I know I butchered her last name. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Um, Man, I feel like a woman, Shania Twain. Yep, and they played this on the Chevrolet commercial when and this was on TV. They had this song on the Chevrolet commercial. This is another song by the One Hit Wonder. This is one of my favorite songs of the summer. This is the best summer song of the 90s. And I am talking about Len, Steal My Sunshine. Yes, I love this song, Steal My Sunshine. One of the best summer songs ever. Steal My Sunshine, Len. I love that. And I discovered that song when it was on uh, Beats. It's that game show on Fox. It's Beat Shazam,
Beat Shazam. Yep.
and that song "Steal My Sunshine" was on that game show, and that's how I first heard the song was in that on that game show on Fox. And then after I heard it, I'm like, I gotta really listen to this on Spotify. And then I quickly became a fan, and it is one of the best summer music song ever. I love "Steal My Sunshine" from 1999. That I like "Steal My Sunshine."
Oh yeah.
Such an awesome song by Len. Um, and that was number 9 on the Hot 100 and number 3 on the top 40. And yeah, they became a one-hit wonder just like EMF.
Yeah.
Sorry to say. Iris, Guru Dolls, that was a big hit. From City of Angels soundtrack. Like This Down, George Strait, yep. And they didn't even mention Alan Jackson, Living on Love, 1994, because I like Alan Jackson too. And yes, I do like a little bit of country music. I'm not really a big country fan, but I do like some of it. And I do like Living on Love from 1994. That was another good song. The song Plush by Stone Temple Pilots. The song Push, like I said, by Matchbox 20, which is in the movie Barbie, by the way, the 2023 movie. Oh, and Luke's going to hate me for this, too. Aqua, Barbie Girl from 1997. I forgot about that song. I know. Despite everybody not liking that song and they can't stand it and whatnot,
Oh yeah.
Like it, hate it or love it or hate it or whatever. This was a huge hit back in 1997, Barbie Girl. And yes, I
Yes.
do like Aqua. I think the song gets played way too much, but I do like other songs in the album besides Barbie Girl, and that's the Aquarium album. Um,
Yeah.
oh, and I forgot Britney Spears. Hit me, baby, baby, one more time. That's it. I forgot about that
Yes.
song. Of course, living La Vida Loca, like I said.
Ricky Martin.
But yeah, Ricky Martin. Of course, Top Thumping by Chumbawamba.
Uh-huh.
Um,
OMC. How bizarre.
Goo Dolls, like I said.
How
Um,
bizarre.
yeah. Um,
OMC.
and of course, Aqua only did 2 albums. The first one did really well, but the second one did not do as well, and it did so bad on the Billboard chart that nobody really listens to that album. It was a huge disappointment in 2000. It was a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
It was bad, and it did not do well on the Billboard. I know this is not a '90s album, but even though it was #1 in Denmark, but here in America, it only peaked at number 82 on the Billboard 200. That sucks. That hurts. And that has to be probably the lowest charted album. And they were signed to MCA Records, which Universal owned. You know, because Elton John was part of MCA until Universal bought MCA, and now he's part of Universal Music. So Universal has some of the biggest names in music.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the lowest charted album by Aqua, called Aquarium, or not Aquarium, Aquarius. Well, if you compare Aquarium, which peaked at number 7, this one was even worse. This is the lowest charting album ever here in America. Peaked at 82 on the Billboard 200. That's painful. So you got a huge hit album in '97, peaked at number 7, and then you got this in 2000, and it peaked at number 82. And you know what that means? That means you're going to be dropped from the label. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the album is bad. I'm just saying that it didn't do well because it peaked at number 82, and that's not good for them, because they were part of MCA Records here in America. And I do like some songs in the album, but I mean, yeah, see, peaked at number 82. Yeah, and Aquarium, which peaked at number 7.
Yeah.
So we went from number 7 to number 82. I'm like, oh my god, that's bad.
Wow.
Oh, I know. It's not good. But yeah, I do like some of the music and Aquarium. Roses Are Red from 1996, My Oh My from 1997, Barbie Girl, April '97. But yeah, I like other music than just Barbie Girl. I mean, yeah, that song gets played way too much, and it can probably get quite annoying if you play it for so many.
Yeah.
I do like Dr. Jones, and I like Roses Are Red. Dr. Jones is a good one. Lollipop, Candyman in 1997, and again, I love dance music, and that song has some dance music into it, and yeah, it's a good song. Turn Back Time, 1998. That's one of my favorite songs from the album. Yeah, and yeah, Turn Back Time. I'm not talking about If I Can Turn Back Time by Cher. This is a totally different one. Yeah, this is an awesome song. Turn Back Time from 1998. 1998. Let's
Yes.
see. The track possesses less of a bubble pop sound than the other releases. So, out of all the songs that have that bubble pop to it, this one um, tones down the dance pop music. But it's I can't really describe it, but this is a really good song. I really enjoy it,
Yeah.
and yeah, and it's slow paced. And it shows the full range of the lead singer's vocals. Yeah, that's why I like this song because of her vocals, amazing vocals. Yeah, it's a great song. I love it so much. But yeah, people, you can hate me all you want, but I really do like this song. Because it's awesome. Number 18 on the top 40. That's good. But
Mm.
yeah, it's such a great song. 1998. So that is Aquarium, and yeah, I mean, even if you skip over Barbie Girl, um, it's pretty good to listen to. I mean, if you don't want to be playing the same song over and over again, that's stuck in your head, and then you don't want to hear it anymore. Um, and I can understand because you see, there's some songs on there that I find annoying. Like one, "Who Let the Dogs Out." I cannot
Yeah.
stand that song. I'm sorry. It's just so annoying. Um, oh my god, it's just an embarrassment.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so that's pretty much everything of the '90s. And like I said, I've got Alan Jackson, "Living on Love," because he did a lot of stuff in the '90s. Um, yeah, so we mentioned Sir Elton John. Um, and like you mentioned, Kathy Dennis, Too
Yeah.
Many Walls, as
Absolutely.
well as Touch Me All Night Long. Um, um,
Mm.
of course, Glenn Medero's "She Ain't Worth It," the duet with Bobby Brown, that was a number one hit.
Yeah.
Sophia B. Hawkins, and if there's anything I missed, guys, yeah, I do miss a lot. But if there's one that I missed, I would probably revisit that at some point. I mean, I'm not gonna go, over everything like I did tonight, because I don't think I can do that. Because yeah, I don't think I want to do that. So
Yes.
that's the '90s, pretty much the 1990s music.
Yeah.
And I think we do have time to talk about video game music, and then we'll wrap up the stream for tonight.
Okay.
So yeah, so video game music in the '90s. Yeah, I mean, what can we say about '90s and video game music? Um,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great soundtracks in video games in the '90s, especially um, especially
Yeah. Secret
yeah,
schools and ghosts.
uh-huh.
What else was a great soundtrack from the 90s? Yeah, I think Ocarina of Time must have been a good one.
Hmm.
It's from the Zelda series.
Yeah, especially Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, 1991 or 92. No, 92.
Oh, oh,
Because 91 was Japan, 92 America.
yeah. And then there was, Pilot Wings and some of the Genesis stuff too.
And especially Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, we can't forget about that either.
Yeah, Sonic 3.
Yep. Which has that awesome song in that game, Ice Cap Zone, which turned out to be the inspiration of the '80s song by the Jetsons called "Hard Times."
Yeah.
And we will mention that on the '80s music stream, so we'll mention that too.
Yes.
So starting off, Dr. Mario, 1990, NES, especially Hip Tanaka. So we can't forget about Dr. Mario from 1990. Has great music. F-Zero for the Super Nintendo, which has great music. What else? Kirby. Kirby has great music, especially Kirby's Adventure for the NES. Which has my favorite song in it. The Rainbow Resort, which is one of my favorite songs in the game. As well as Grape Garden. That's another good one. But yeah, the music in Kirby games are awesome. Same with the Sonic series, awesome.
Yeah.
Super Mario Kart has really good music too, especially the Rainbow World. That boy, I tell you, the music in that game's pretty good. And of course, the big ones, like I said, 1994, Donkey Kong Country, which has some amazing soundtrack by David Wise.
David Wise.
And like I said, that one song in that game, when you go into the water, listening to the water music in that game is so breathtaking. It's amazing. It's it's soothing, relaxing, and it's one of the best songs, as well as that other one from that snow area in the game. But yeah, such great music, especially that ice cave music. Awesome. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country. It's an awesome game, and of course, it also has an awesome soundtrack. And I know that everybody is familiar with this, and we talked about this on the cartoons theme for BPT's podcast stream, and that is Earthworm Jim, the video game.
Yeah.
Which has some great music. And obviously, your role-playing games have excellent soundtrack too. So I can't forget about RPGs because they have some incredible soundtrack too. Final Fantasy, and all of them. Klonoa for the PlayStation, yeah, that has some good tunes in it. That's a good game. I don't know about the music of Micro Machines for the NES. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I do know one that has an awesome title theme song, and it's from and it's an LJN game by Tim Fallon.
Yes.
Which is the song, which the game is called Pictionary, and it's the title theme from Pictionary. Awesome title theme. One of the best title theme songs in an NES game. By the great Tim Fallon.
Definitely Pictionary, yeah.
Yeah. Gotta add Pictionary, and if Pictionary's not on that list, then yeah, there's something totally wrong with your brain. But yeah, it's such an awesome title song. Spiral the Dragon on the PlayStation, that has some great music, and that's composed by Stuart Copeland, who was a drummer for the Police,
Oh yes.
and he did music to Spiral the Dragon, and Spiral the Dragon, the first one, has some really great music. Love the soundtrack. Tony
Yeah.
Hawk Pro Skater for the PlayStation back in 1999. And that has licensed music, like that one song by the Onis, Here and Now, uh, uh, Goldfinger, or Badfinger, or whatever it's called, Superman. Um, that's a most iconic song in that game. I think it's Goldfinger. I can't say Badfinger. I think it's but yeah, from the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which I am a fan, by the way. I do like that game, and I like that game a lot.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that because I like skateboarding games, and I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater, um, yeah, I mean, such an awesome game, and I played a crap ton of it back in the day.
Yeah.
What was the what about the music? Come on. Um, well, just not gonna tell me anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
It's crazy.
I know. Huh. Okay, well, whatever. But yeah, that song, Here and Now, like I said, Wayman, 1995, for the
Yes.
Jaguar. And it came to PlayStation as well. That has some good music too. Really good music. Pilot Wings, like you said. Pokemon. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, really cool music. Super Smash Brothers, maybe. But I like the game too. Star Ocean from 1990. 95, no, 96. Star Fox for the SNES has some good music in it, especially the uh, Chronoia music, or whatever you pronounce it. Um,
Oh yes.
oh yeah, and Ape Escape has great music too. Not only the game is awesome, but the soundtrack is really good too. I love the soundtrack.
Oh
Really
yeah.
good music. Uh, oh yeah, and this game, I gotta talk about this game because this game has some of the best soundtrack in video games, and I even mentioned this in the E3 episode on the E3 theme last week that I was talking about this game. This game is not only an awesome game for the Super Nintendo, but this has some of the best soundtrack in any video game history. By Mitsuda Nobumatsu, the famed Final Fantasy composer, did this awesome soundtrack for the Super Nintendo, and it still, in my opinion, is the greatest soundtrack ever produced in a video game, especially on a 16-bit console. And that I'm talking about is Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
Chrono Trigger from 1995. This has some of the best video game music ever. Um, and famed Final Fantasy composer did music for this game too. Nobuo Matsu, along with Mitsuda. Now what really happened with the music and everything? The composer wrote the Mitsuda who wrote most of the soundtrack. Um, After he wrote you know uh, most of the music, he felt ill, and so he wasn't able to finish and get all the music in it, and that's why two others had to help him to make the soundtrack unique. And I know he was pretty upset about that. Having a famed Final Fantasy composer and whatnot. But some of his music in this game is good too, because he is a legendary video game composer for Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
He's like the greatest video game composer out there when it comes to that. And you know what? I think we'll have that for a theme on an upcoming podcast stream. Talk about video game composers. That's something we should do on the stream. What do you think of that idea?
That'd be great. Yes.
Because video game music has came ever since the NES days. Having 8-bit tunes, 16-bit stuff. There's a lot of great music from video game composers, and Mitsuda is one of them. Uematsu is another one. Yeah. So, and yeah, it really sucks too that that he was ill. Even though he wrote most of the soundtrack before falling ill, and of course, having the remaining tracks to be in the game by famed Final Fantasy composer Matsu. And like I said, the soundtrack in this game is some of the best soundtrack in a video game by far. Because those two are icons, and they both make great video game music. And Chrono Trigger sets the ball when it comes to video game music, and that to me is the gold standard of video game music. And this is why I like RPGs, because RPGs, role playing games, yeah, they have to tell a story, but also the video game music is where it shines the most. And if you don't have a great soundtrack for a video game like this for role playing, then yeah, it's pretty much gonna suck. But not Chrono Trigger, because this game from start to finish has an amazing soundtrack. I listen to the soundtrack. I love everything about it, and I gotta say it's a masterpiece when it comes to video game music. Because like I said, I'm nitpicky when it comes to video game music, because I'm a video game music lover, and Chris is too. We both we nitpick on some of the video game music, but this is not one of them, because this has some of the best video game music ever. From the forest area in the game to the last battle, the final battle in the game, which sounds better in mono. On stereo, it doesn't sound all that great in stereo, but it sounds much better on mono than that. So that's pretty much that. So yeah, so Chrono Trigger was primarily by Mitsuda, with Final Fantasy composer Nobuo Matsu, and only one song by Matsuda. Sound programmer at the time, he was unhappy with his pay and threatened to leave Square if he could not compose music. And Sakaguchi suggested he score Chrono Trigger, remarking maybe your salary will go up. So he composed new music and drew on a personal collection of pieces composed over the previous 2 years. And he reflected, I wanted to create music that wouldn't fit in any established genre. Music of imaginary world The games director was my close friend, so I always talked to him about setting in the scene before getting into writing. He slept in his studio several nights and attributed certain pieces, such as the game's ending theme, to "Faraway Times," which is a great song. Love it. Um, uh, he was developing before Chrono Trigger to a certain person. After Mitsuda contracted stomach ulcers, Umatsu joined the project to compose 10 pieces of the music and to finish the score. He returned to watch the ending with the staff before the game's release, crying upon seeing the finished scene. Yeah, I tell you, yeah, it's an awesome soundtrack, and it is one of my favorite video game music ever. Um, but yeah, so Chrono Trigger, 1995. This is such not only an awesome RPG, but it's also you know one of the best soundtrack. There's other great music too in the 90s. Dr. Mario from 1990 on the NES. Um, what else? Sonic the Hedgehog, 1991. Sonic 2 in 92. And you mentioned this, Chris, Sonic 3 in 1994.
Yes.
That has that ice cap zone, which, kind of, resembles Hard Times by the Jetsons. Yeah, the music is great in that game. But I think my overall favorite video game soundtrack would have to be Sonic and Knuckles for the Sega Genesis, and that came out in October '94. So that has really good soundtrack too.
Oh yes.
And also, my other favorite Sonic video game soundtrack, because like I said, they're all fantastic. Nothing wrong with either one. Sonic 1, 2, 3, or Knuckles. They're both excellent in my opinion. Especially Starlight from Sonic 1, or the Arctic Ruin Zone in Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Or Ice Cap Zone in Sonic 3, and Hydrocity Zone, and that Balloon Park. Yeah, really good. Um, Now I know people are not gonna like this game, but I really enjoy it. Um, from 1996, this was the last Sonic game for the Sega Genesis in 1996, and this has some of the best music in any Sonic game, and that is Sonic 3D Blast. This has an incredible soundtrack. My favorite song is Planet Puppet Zone Act 1. There's a dance version of it by Audio Sport, and I know when Chris listens to the dance puppet dance music, yeah, that'd be one heck of a workout for cardio.
Yeah, aerobic cardio. Yeah.
Because that song is so upbeat. And again, it's Puppet Planet Zone from Sonic 3D Blast Act 1.
Yeah.
The audio sprite version is excellent, and it would get you off the bed or the floor or the chair, and you'd be dancing and really enjoying the beat and the rhythm of Dance Puppet Dance, and that was inspired with the Puppet Panic Zone,
Yeah.
especially Act 1. Another song I like is Volcano Valley Act 1 from that game. Spring Stadium, not a fan of the level, but I do like Act 1 music. Rusty Wounds, can't forget about that. Gene Gadget, great music too. Yeah, so overall, the soundtrack to Sonic 2D Blast is totally awesome, and I love it. But yeah, so there's a lot of great video game music out there. Final Fantasy II for the SNES, Secret of Mana for the Super Nintendo, great music. Chrono Trigger from 1995, Super Mario World 1991, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, especially that select screen, that fire select screen. It's really good. I like that song so much by Koji Kondo. Such a great song.
Yes.
And of course, everybody's going to mention Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, having some of the best music in the game. That could be. That could be. Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic Knuckles, Sonic 3D Blast, Donkey Kong Country 1994, Donkey Kong for the Game Boy, great music. Although the title screen, it's kind of creepy. I know, but a great soundtrack. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie for the Genesis, that has a great soundtrack too.
Yes.
Especially the Power Rangers theme song that it plays when you're in a battle. Yeah, really great music. I love the soundtrack in that and the Genesis version. And probably Super Castlevania 4 for the SNES.
Yes.
Just Konami has some great music too. Tetris Attack 1996. The SNES one I like more than the Game Boy because the music in that one is okay. It's good. Nothing wrong with it. But I like the SNES one because the soundtrack is awesome on the Super Nintendo version. Another one that only came out in Japan, never came to North America, by Squaresoft, Bahamut Lagoon from 1996. That has some great music. Oh, and I forgot to mention this because not only it's August, but this game not only turns 30, but yeah, the soundtrack is pretty good too. I forgot to mention this game from 1993, all the way back to 1993, and that is Tato's Bobble Bobble Part 2.
Yeah.
Especially the Shining Lake level, the Shining Lake area. That's one of my favorite songs in the entire game, is the Shining Lake from Bobble Bobble Part 2. Awesome song. Donkey Kong Land 1995, Killer Instinct 1995, the Game Boy versions, and of course the SNES one too. Kirby's Dream Land 2 1995, Kirby's Dream Land 1992, Kirby's Adventure 1993, the Capcom Disney games like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers from 1990, maybe the sequels, maybe Little Mermaid from 1991 by Capcom. Chicky Chicky Boys for the Sega Genesis, aka Mega Twins in the arcade. That has another great music. Biohazard Battle for the Genesis. That has some great music in 1992. And one of my favorites, and I've beaten this game recently, Don't Star Heroes.
Yep.
This is an awesome game, Don't Star Heroes. Such an awesome game, and great music too.
Yeah.
Y-Star has a really good soundtrack for the Genesis. But yeah, so pretty much your RPGs have the best soundtrack. Dr. Mario, like I said. Mo Mania 1997, even though
Yeah,
it says 1996 Nintendo, but it actually came out in 97. The boss theme is awesome in that game. I love the boss uh,
yeah,
music. Um, yeah, so um, Spiral, like I said, 1998. Ape Escape, 1999. Uh,
yeah,
Klonoa, 1997. Tomba 2, whatever you pronounce it. Tomba 2, especially that one song, great song. Wayman, 1995. Now, and yes, I'm going to count this game too, Flam S DOS. 1997, Acid Tetris, which has really great music too. So I'm going to count that game as well. The DOS game from 1997. Although they had to change the name because of copyright.
yes.
But yeah, I played this game on Windows 95, and this was an awesome Tetris clone for MS DOS called Acid Tetris.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and of course Pictionary, like I mentioned, um, from 1990, great soundtrack. Bobble Bobble Part 2. I would say the music is much improved in that game, but it's probably not as good as the NES one. Although the NES, the 88 one, you hear that song over and over and over again, and that can get really tiring. Um,
Yes.
but other than that, yeah, I mean the music's good. The Bubba Bubba Part 2, it's really good. Um, it's awesome. Um, so Chris, is there any 90 video game is it that you enjoy?
Yes, all the Sega songs. Pretty
Hmm.
much everything Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
And then you have, which again I hate to repeat, but yeah, I'm gonna say it again, I guess. The Ocarina of Time from the Zelda series. And definitely Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah, and of course, the RPGs of the 90s.
Yeah.
Um, your Final Fantasy, your Secret of Mana, Chrono
Yeah, those
Trigger,
were good too.
all of them. Um,
Oh, I forgot to say this. Some of the PlayStation games are pretty good too.
yeah,
And the PlayStation 2 games, like I can tell you the Namco Museum games are awesome. Like all of Namco's songs.
yeah, Namco Museum, yeah, Volume 1, and Volume 3 on the PlayStation. Volume 1 has great music, and so does Volume 3. And I want to get those games again because those were awesome collection of games. Uh,
I must say I love Volume 5 too as well.
um, yeah, the Genesis stuff. The Sonic games. Uh,
Just so you know
Obviously,
one
Sonic
thing.
3D Blast, awesome
So-
game.
Yeah, so you know one thing. Some of Volume 1 and Volume Two's music are the same. Some of them are exactly the same.
Um, yeah.
In the Namco Museum.
Star Tropics has some good music too, especially 1 and
Yeah,
2.
those are
Um,
good too.
yeah, and Legend of Zelda, uh, Link to the Past on the SNES,
Yes,
even Zelda 2, not Zelda 2, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening has some good ones. Um, what else? Oh my god. Oh, and yeah, I can't forget this too. Tetris Blast for the Game Boy
Yeah.
for 1996. Especially that one
Sure.
song that I like in that game. Um,
Yeah, Tetris.
yeah,
Blast.
great music in that game.
Yeah, Tetris.
Uh, Super
Yeah.
Mario Land 2, awesome game, awesome soundtrack.
What about
Wario
Wario?
Land, Super Mario Land 3, great music, especially the water level, awesome.
Yeah.
Really good music in that game. And the Adventure Island stuff, pretty good too. Adventure Island 2 and 3 for the NES, and of course, Adventure Island 1 and 2 on the Game Boy. Um,
Game and Watch
Magic
Gallery was
Man,
pretty good too.
yeah, Game Watch Gallery.
Oh,
Um,
Battletoads was pretty awesome.
oh yeah, Battletoads
The
by
Game
Will.
Boy and
Yeah,
the NES version, both
forgot
versions
about
were
that one.
good. I think Battletoads was on Genesis too. That was pretty cool too. Am I correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bubsy, probably. I think maybe Bubsy.
Yeah.
Um, um, but yeah, I mean, role playing games, all of them. Um, Spyro the Dragon, 1998, like I said. Even Fargo on the Sega Genesis, the last game ever made for the SNES and the Genesis. I like the Genesis one a lot more because the Genesis
Yeah.
one is more like the arcade, and the SNES version is made from like Newgrounds or something. So the SNES one's not that great, but the Genesis one was better,
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yes.
That's what I have to say. Um, and I guess that's it. I can't think of any more. But like I said, video game
Neither
music
can
in the
I.
'90s. Video game music in the '90s. I mean, it
Neither
was.
can I.
I tell you,
Yeah.
'90s generation music and everything. '90s was such awesomeness because
Oh
I grew up
yes.
in the '90s. A lot of great music, and whatnot, and '90s video game music.
Especially
And
the
yeah,
early
I can't wait
90s.
to go over the '80s music with you. I can't wait for that.
Me too.
So that's gonna be a fun one.
So much to talk about on that one.
Oh, I know. And me talking like Speedy Gonzales. I mean, I gotta slow
Yeah, or
down with my words, but
Jim Perry
but
speaking fast. I'd be like
yeah,
Jim Perry again, and I speak fast too. So
yeah,
this is
I
why I
know.
run out of air when I speak, like Lee Moritz
Yeah,
says, my announcer coach.
yeah. Well, like I said, it happens, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much that, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's everything of the '90s, and again, Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby. I enjoy that song. John Michael Montgomery, I Swear, and I Can Love You Like That. Alan
Yeah.
Jackson, Living on Love, and of course, I Don't Even Know Your Name.
Yeah.
Uh, and of course, we can't forget about Shania Twain with "Come On Over," um,
Yeah.
which was a huge album in 1997.
Yeah.
It was a big record at the time.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, so many great '90s stuff, and Madonna too. Like I said, Way of Light, Frozen, The Power of Goodbye. Um, yeah, it's just really great. So, yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I have to say for the '90s music. Awesome generation, whatnot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you know, some of the songs we mentioned in this podcast is still being played. Oh, and I forgot about Smash Mouth. I forgot about them.
I,
Real quickly.
yes.
Walking on the Sun from 1997.
Yes.
All Star. Can't Get Enough of You, Baby. Uh,
I'm a believer.
you know that although that came out in 2000 and something.
Ah.
Uh,
Oh, yes.
what else? Then the Morning Comes from Astro Lounge. Uh, yeah, I'm a Believer probably came out in like 2000 ish.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. But yeah. Let's see. So yeah, Walking on the Sun. Uh, and the songs I just mentioned. Fastball, The Way, I forgot about that one. And yeah, so lot of great stuff in the '90s. And like I said, you know, uh, two songs that I saw on MTV Classic before we started the stream, EMF, Unbelievable, and of course Kathy Dennis last week, Too Many Walls.
Yeah.
And again, it was so nice to have that music video on MTV Classic instead of just watching it on YouTube. It was on MTV Classic, and for the very first time that I saw a Kathy Dennis music video,
Yeah.
because the one I ever saw from her was Just Another Dream. Uh, and then when I saw Too Many Walls, I'm like, yes, this is my song. This is my favorite song, and yep, and I'll never forget that. Um, so there you go on that. So with that, my friends, that will conclude tonight's BPT's mini podcast extravaganza of August 3rd. And I'll be doing the '80s music sometime. Um, I don't know if we can do it on a Sunday and whatnot because I'll be I'll be back to work on Tuesday, so we'll have to see about that, see what we can do. But yeah, so we'll do 80s music with Christianity and talk about '80s music.
Yeah.
That is going to be a fun stream.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and
Yeah.
and if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button to my
Right.
YouTube channel. And if you want to donate, though it's totally optional, you can do that as well. Because I'm on Cashapp, and it'll be in the description. So if you want to donate, you can do so. It's totally up to you. Totally optional. And of course, hit the notification bell icon so whenever I go live or I upload a new video, like I did today, because I uploaded a new video. That way you can watch my newest video that I uploaded today. Which was really exciting because I really want to get this movie, and I won't be able to buy the movie till September, so I'm a bit mad about that. But I'm gonna let it slide, you know. But you know that's just how it is. But yeah, so again, hit the notification bell. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also check out Retro Media Vision. And of course, listen to Christianity Plays His Hits on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that jazz. So you can listen to songs like Walkman Beat or The Conga, or
Yeah.
pretty much every other song that you wanna hear.
Yeah.
And you can listen to that on Spotify. And of course, check out Retro Media Vision because he does interviews and and certain things on the channel. And so check them out, Retro Media Vision. And of course, I'm on Site 123 as well, so you can check me out there. And I'm also on Threads, so you can follow me on Threads if you like to, and all that other jazz. So there you guys go. So anyway, guys, that's gonna conclude tonight's stream. And I want to thank Chris Kennedy for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me, Remix. Appreciate it. Yes.
And certainly happy for you to be here on the stream tonight, here on my YouTube channel. And we can't wait to do the 80s music, because that's going down the memory lane.
Yeah.
So
at some point, I want to do a 70s music.
Yeah, that's something I'd probably do.
70s, maybe 60s even.
Yeah, 60s. Yeah, because I'm the only person in this household that listens to 60s music. Because I know that that's probably weird that listen to 60s music, but ever since growing up in the 90s, I kind of grew up with oldie stuff. I listened to that in the car in my hometown where they played nothing but 60s music, and I kind of grew up in that.
Me too.
And yeah, I really enjoy 60s music, a little bit of upper 50s as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, 60s music is my thing, and that'd be something, we should do.
Yes, definitely.
There's a lot of great music in the 60s. That'd probably be a good idea to do a 60s music.
Indeed.
That would be really cool.
Yes.
No doubt about it. And so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude tonight's BPT's mini podcast extravaganza, August 3. And again, once again, thanks, Christian, for joining me on the stream. And this has been a lot of fun, guys. I had a blast being here. When I'm not playing a game or being silly and being a mess, making fault jokes and everything. This is what I enjoy doing here on BPT's YouTube channel, because I've been doing it for 13 years. So. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for Chris Kennedy, this is Women's Plum. Thank you all for tuning in tonight.
Everybody.
This has been a lot of fun. And we'll see you all in the next BPT's mini podcast extravaganza stream. And so again, comment below on your favorite 90s music. I wanna know. And so there you guys go. So for Chris Kennedy, this is Women's Plum saying have a great night. And again, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. And of course, hit the notification bell for whenever I upload a new video. Or, of course, doing a live stream for you all, because I really enjoy doing a live stream. Kick back and, enjoy the stream and not think of too much everything that's going around. So, but anyway, guys, thank you. Have a great Thursday night, everybody. And we'll see you all again. And, so thanks for tuning in, everybody. And I hope you guys have a great night here at Women's Plum Studios and right here on BPT's YouTube channel. And I know Luke is probably going to mention right here on Toon Freaking Disney. Exactly right, Luke. But yeah. But anyway, guys, have a great night, and this will conclude the stream for tonight. So anyway, guys, have a great night, and we'll do it again. Yeah, we'll do it again real soon, everybody. So thank you for tuning in. And now let's add the episode clear, and let's call it a night. So thank you guys, and bye for now.
Bye for now.
One more time.
Yeah. Okay. Woohoo. The end